Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2000 sequel film, The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea. It's an hour and 9 minutes with then credits after. This takes place 13 years after the film, the 1989 film. So we just did our marathon of 31 episodes for the TV series, Little Mermaid series. That was years before the movie. So we did movie, prequel, sequel. It's interesting how that works. And so what's interesting about this is that you don't really have, not that I can even think of, any Disney princesses with kids in the movies, like released. This is straight to VHS DVD sequel film. This was way before streaming services were a thing. So now when you have a straight to a sequel that's just premiering on a streaming service, it's different. But back then it was like a thing. You had to like get the movie or go to Blockbuster, rent the movie to watch it. You couldn't just like watch it on Netflix because it wasn't a thing. Different times, 24 years ago. So I'm not familiar with other princesses having daughters, other Disney princesses having kids. But it's interesting seeing this and then having a 13-year time period. You know, we're leading up to Melody's birthday. Ariel says something like, you know, you're a teenager now, things like that. But like, she's adventurous and she's got her mom's spirit. And, you know, she's the spitting image of her father, Eric, and her mother, Ariel, together in one little human form of 13 years old. So we get the time jump. But why do we have such a long time jump? Well, we have Melody in the beginning as a baby. The humans are interacting. Prince Eric's kingdom is interacting with the mer people, the mermans. And so all of a sudden Morgana, who is Ursula's evil sister, comes about with her Ray sidekicks. Like Ursula had eagles, Flotsam and Jetsam. So Morgana has manta rays named Cloak and Dagger. And it's pretty neat having the similarities of then the Octopin, another Octopin. And I knew Ursula's sister was coming into play at some point. It just didn't know when. So her quest is to get the trident to then be the Queen of the Seas, much like how Ursula's quest was the same, pretty much the thing. And then it's a matter of now that she has leverage, because if she takes Melody, she can threaten in order to get what she wants. And then, of course, the plan foils, and then, of course, the pacts are made that you cannot tell Melody, you know, that she's actually half mermaid. So, 13-year time jump. Sebastian is still doing his kingly duties and keeping an eye on the kid, and she knows she can talk to fish because she escapes the castle and, you know, peruses the sea and things, right? She's friends with Scuttle, who's still alive 13 years later. And so it's then a matter of she finds this necklace that Trident gives her as a baby, who he then brings it back to the sea. That way she doesn't know who she is. And she sees it says Melody on it. She brings it back. She then sees Atlantica. She sees mer people. And she's like, oh, this isn't just the fishtail. Like, this is a thing. Makes a deal. Gets the trident from Trident. And becomes a mermaid for the time being. Making the deal with Morgana. And then, of course, all hell breaks loose. And the spell wears off. And then there's fighting and battles. And who's drowning where. And all of these things, right? And then, of course, you know, Melody can save the day because she's a descendant of Trident, and any descendant of Trident can therefore hold the Trident respectively and use its power, despite the fact that Morgana grabbed it, but was given to her. It's like one of those things. Certain mythos of this was okay, but my thing was with this is it was cute. It put a smile on my face. I loved the villainy of it. I loved Morgana's, you know, antagonistic aspect to it. It was great. I liked Melody, you know, trying to find herself. I liked Ariel getting back to Finn's, trying to save her daughter. Things, right? Realizing we're going to break the wall down. Everybody can live together in peace after Morgana is frozen and thrown to the bottom of the ocean. But how is it, and this is the story aspect of my mind now coming into play, how is it that Melody is 13 years old and the entirety of Eric's kingdom, Eric and Ariel's kingdom, because they're now king and queen, how is it that nobody has genuinely told Melody that there are actual mer people? Like, there was humans all about the celebration of Eric and Ariel's wedding, humans all about the celebration of Melody's birth. How is it that nobody made a peep about the real aspect of actual mer people in the sea? So it's a little weird, a little strange. I get the whole keeping the secret from her thing, but like loose lips. Everybody, there's not one. You have a whole kingdom of people. Somebody is going to say something. Not every single person in your kingdom, even if they're terrified of you or not, is going to keep their mouth shut. It just didn't make sense. The thing I really would have wanted, what I really did want, is Ariel's sisters were not in this at all, which I thought was strange because they were a big focal point of the TV series. They were in the film a bit, the first film a bit, but they weren't in this. And all of our favorite characters in the TV series, obviously, were not in the in the film, and then weren't in this sequel film. I would have loved to seen a grown-up Urshan. We get a grown-up, what's his name, Flounder, who has kids of his own now. I would have loved to seen a grown-up Urshan. What's Urshan been up to all this time? I would have loved to seen a grown-up Gabriella with her deaf interpreter, sign language interpreter, Ollie the Octopus. What have they been up to for 13 years? Like, I would have liked to see these things. Like, that would have been very entertaining. What's up with Sebastian's parents? Are they going to be visiting from Jamaica again? Like, things. I would like to see these things. It was fun. It was fun. I liked that Ariel's daughter is named Melody. Melody of the Sea. I thought that was cute. I like that Melody is now has a crush on this, blonde-haired surfer curtain 90s boy hair, merman. Thought that was cute. I liked seeing in the TV series mer people of all shapes, sizes, and skin tones. I like seeing mer people in this TV series, in this sequel film, of all shapes, sizes, and skin tones, which is actually hysterical moving forward in regards to the 2022 live action reboot of the franchise. With the 2 hour and 15-minute long film, I'm so curious how an hour extra is added, because the original film is what, hour 23 minutes, something like that, and the live action film is 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm so excited to see it, just from the sheer factor of what in the hell did they do for an extra hour of film to make that 2 hours and 15 minutes. But the uproar, the fake cries of uproar of all these people, you can't have a mermaid with brown skin. I was like, bro, you never saw the show? Like, I knew the show existed. I knew certain characters existed. Like, but I never actually sat down and watched it until recently. We just did our marathon. So with all this uproar of idiocy, it made me laugh because of how stupid people are. You obviously are not a fan of the Little Mermaid franchise if you are not familiar that there are different merm people of all shapes, sizes, and skin tones throughout the franchise. People are idiots. I'm very excited to watch the next projects. We have the next Little Mermaid film, which is another prequel, so I'm curious how that plays into the TV series before the film. We then have the 2019 stage production, live stage production. Queen Latifah is Ursula. Cannot wait for that. I saw it once. Thought it was great. But I'm going to see it again. And that's quick, too. That's like an hour, 20 minutes, something like that. And then we have the newest one. And then we're almost done. We got 3 movies left in our Little Mermaid marathon. Then we're jumping into our Texas Chainsaw Marathon. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Marathon. That's a lot of sounds right there. But of course, that's what you do. You go from Little Mermaid to Texas Chainsaw. It's just a good balance. You got the good balance of stuff going on. Little Mermaid 2, Ariel's... No, that's the third film. Little Mermaid 2, Back to the Sea. Really fun film. I wanted more, but it's okay. We'll live. What's the next review? Mucho mahalo.